All right, let's talk about it. Mentorship. Look, the belly going down. It's going down. It's going down. Mentorship. Finding an effective mentor. Now, I have my team website in the description, right? Again, thank you for tuning in. Sorry, Christian Newton, real estate agent, luxury real estate agent in New York. Now, let's talk about it. The failure rate in New York pre-COVID, 88%. What does that mean? That means damn near 9 out of every 10 agents is going to fall out of the business in the first 2 years. Pretty sure it's probably worse now. Go to the offices, you don't see anybody. You have a bunch of licensed inactive agents out there. Just fine, happens. But what do you attribute that to? Do you attribute that to poor mentorship? Do you attribute that to poor work ethic? Do you attribute that to thinking it's easy? Do you attribute that to being catfished on HGTV? Let's talk about it. You know? Do you attribute it to people not really understanding what getting into real estate is, or the subdivisions, right? Do you want to be a listing agent, a buyer's agent, an investor's agent, a development agent, I guess, which will kind of fall in the same category, a rental agent, whatever. Do you want to be a flipper? Do you want to be an investor? You know, like, what do you want? When people think of real estate, they just think of like one thing. You know, houses, but what about real estate that entices you, you know? So now it's a bunch of things that attribute to that 88%. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. You need a good mentor with a high ceiling, because a mentor with a low ceiling, you're only going to be as good as your mentor, right? So if your mentor's ceiling is here, the highest you're going to go is here. You're going to hit his ceiling, his or her ceiling, right? Then it's time to find a new one. Or you find one with a higher ceiling or whatever. Duh, right? So me being a mentor to some agents, when I'm in my office, I look at the new agents that come in here. The new agents come in, they're excited. Why do you want to be an agent? Always get the same two answers. The money, I want to be my own boss. All right, if it's the money and the schedule and you being your own boss that motivates you, you're not going to stay in the business long. I got to see work ethic. I got to see you in the office. I got to see you be able to take a beating, you know? Like, you need a different kind of skin in real estate, to be honest with you. Like, it's not easy. It's not like Love It or Listed. It's not like Loving Listings or this, that, and the third. It's not like $1 Million Listing. Like, it's not that. It's not that. It's not easy at all. Damn near something's gonna go wrong every transaction. You gotta put out a bunch of fires all the time, period. You're gonna do everything for sellers and buyers, and then it's damn near gonna be a waste of time sometimes. You know, they're gonna say, oh, I didn't think that you was gonna sell it this quick, or I didn't know you was gonna get offers this quick, and then I'm not ready, you know, let's take it up to, like, a bunch of things are gonna happen. That's why you don't do it for the money, because you're putting your trust in your paycheck into somebody else's hands. So now, when things go sour or sideways, you're disappointed, you're discouraged. Like, oh man, I was counting on that commission check. No, you never be married to the commission. Never. I don't care. You're never married to the commission. The money's gonna come. No hard work goes unpaid. It might not come that day, that week, that month, that year, but if you keep at it, it's gonna come in. And it might come in abundance. It might come all at once. It might take you 5 years for you to get that. But if you stick with it for those 5 years, it's gonna come. Or every hour that you work is gonna be there. Period. You gotta do it for the love. It has to be something more than the money. It has to be. Because when the money don't come, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna go back to a 9 to 5. So now, I'm gonna test you. You're not gonna be on my team at first. Even if, you've been here for a month or two and I see you in the office every day, or I see this on the third and you're here every day, I'm gonna test you. Let's see what you're made of. I'm gonna bother you, I'm gonna annoy you, I'm gonna do everything to piss you off. Because that's what's gonna happen in real estate. A bunch of things are gonna be done that's gonna piss you off. So if you can't handle it from me, sometimes you're not gonna be able to handle it from a bunch of other clients, buyers, sellers, renters, investors, all the time. Because your phone's gonna be ringing at 2, 3 in the morning and you gotta pick up. Or your phone's gonna be, you're gonna be having family time or wifey time or hubby time or whichever it is, and your phone's ringing. And now they're looking at you like, well, what are you gonna do? Is you gonna pick it up? I haven't had any alone time with you. A million things are gonna happen. And this is what you're signing up for. So me being your mentor, you're not ready for that. I don't want you on my team. I don't even want to be bothered with mentorship. I don't want to be bothered because it's going to upset me. Because the money's going to come. Even if you were to pay me, the money's going to come, but time I cannot get back. And this is things that you got to understand. These are things you got to be willing to understand and accept. And it's just like, yo, listen, you say you want to work, you say you want to do this and the third. Well, listen, this past month, I just made 500 cold calls. I just spoke to 73 people and I got 12 listing appointments. 2 listings. It's a numbers game. And this is just me saying, throwing out numbers and stuff like that. But this is what's happening. Run it like a business, right? You want to make these $1 million commission checks, but yet you don't want to run it like a business. I don't get it. So I'm running my thing like a business. I'm tracking my numbers. Excuse me. I'm on a schedule. It boggles my mind where it's like, all right, you got out of a 9 to 5 to get into real estate because you wanted to make your own schedule, which doesn't happen. You don't make your own schedule in real estate. You can possibly decide when you're going to come to the office and leave the office, but you don't make your own schedule. To get to the industry to make your own schedule and then take advantage that you're not clocking in and out, so nobody can tell you to be in the office every day. You don't make any money and you go back to a job where somebody else makes your schedule. That makes sense to you? Like You went to a job. You had a job where you had maybe 1, 2 bosses, right? And at least you knew you was getting I used to work too, so at least you knew you was getting a check every week or every 2 weeks, whatever the format was, right? Whether it was $200, $500, $1,000, whatever. You at least knew for a fact you was getting this money this Friday, that Thursday, whatever it was. You had 1 or 2 bosses. You got out the industry, the work field, right? The workforce. Get into real estate because you want more control over everything. You want to make the money, right? To not put in the work, to not cold call, to not go to the office, to not do nothing, to go right back to it. That don't make sense. When you're in real estate, right, as an entrepreneur, you do not make your own schedule, because when a client wants to see you at 12, damn, you gotta be there at 12. When they want you to pick up this phone, you gotta pick up the phone. So no, you're not making your own schedule. Are you on your own boss? No, because the more clients you work with, the more bosses you have. And you got sub bosses under that. Okay, so maybe Lisa Ray signed, I love Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray, you see us, I love you. You got Lisa Ray. She signed an exclusive agreement. But now Lisa Ray's husband has to be satisfied as well. And then they want their kids to see it. And then they want, their parents to see it. So not these places that you're showing them or wants to, everybody got to be happy with you. And if not, clip, sorry. That's it. Have a good one.